Welcome to EIPIP meeting number 121. This is issue number 1762 on Ethereum/PM repo. I'm gonna quickly take a minute to share my screen so we all are on the same page. So on agenda, we have a few items for editor's discussion here today, starting from call for input and some items that we would like to see a policy that may help our contributors, authors, editors, new editors, and community to stay informed. We can perhaps take a look at some open PRs which might require attention of editors. And yes, we will have PR analytics as well as some input from EIPs Insight. I believe, yes. I believe the team wants to demo something and have some agenda items to discuss here today. So starting from the very first item, which is call for input. In the last meeting, we discussed about this particular call for input, but I would love for you to, Sam, maybe take over from here and talk about it.
Sure. We're really just waiting for any kind of solid input from editors. I'll wait a little bit longer after this call, but it's been past the 30 days and I'm the only one who's given an answer. So yeah. Yeah, and on the other one, allow links to protocol buffers. This is in favor. I'm just haven't gotten around to modifying EIP1 yet. So that's why this one's still open.
All right, so we can maybe close this one in favor today. And because that is past 1 month as keeper of the consensus, may you want to have a decision either here or you may add it on the call for input issue. So yeah, that can be closed as well. So moving forward, we have a few more items for discussion, but is there anything else anyone would like to add? I know Mercy is on the call. Mercy, if you would like to add anything from your end before the decision is made on that particular call for input.
No, I don't have anything in mind to add.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for this issue. And we hope to get a decision soon on this one. Moving on, yeah, on Discord, there was a discussion on linking a discussion to section for reference implementation. I am opening the discussion right here, but I believe the point mentioned by editor Kachinder was that we generally allow Fellowship of Ethereum Magician because that's not considered as an outside link, but adding that link as reference implementation may not work. I wonder, Sam, if you have any thoughts on that, any input that could help solve this?
Like whether or not we want to allow links to Ethereum Magicians in the body of the document?
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't really work because you can edit your posts on Ethereum Magicians and you can like obviously continue discussion. So it kind of goes against the whole proposals become immutable thing. But that's just my stance on it. It's not like it's a hard rule or anything. We can certainly discuss changing it.
That's a very fair point because we want to keep things which are immutable on body section of an EIP. So it definitely makes sense to keep FEM limited to a preamble section only. But yes, I'm happy to bring it up in the next meeting, or I don't know if it would make sense to create a call for input as well in order to close this open item sooner rather than later.
Yeah, if we needed an official ruling on it, we can make a call for input for it.
My understanding is that would be helpful because if by any chance Fellowship of Ethereum Magician is allowed, then people may add their links to reference implementation over there. Although it seems unlikely that it will be allowed because you already have explained it is not going to be immutable anymore. But yeah, it's worth a shot. So close this topic for forever now.
Okay.
All right. On agenda, I have added a few other items which I think an official decision might be very much helpful. So we should perhaps discuss it and try to document it because officially it is discussed on this EIPIP meeting but hasn't been documented anywhere. And that sometimes is the point of like confusion for people who are new to the ecosystem, sometimes for new editors, and so on and so forth. So I'm sure like we are seeing some repetitive corner edge cases that comes across editing while reviewing these proposals. As someone who has been closely reviewing it, closely looking at these PRs, incoming PRs, I have often found these edge cases. So I think it makes sense to make things more consistent going forward. We can perhaps make a decision and input it either in EIP1 or in EIP 5069, wherever people find it appropriate. So the first item here is accepting policy on accepting typo only PRs. So before I go ahead, like why I'm discussing this, I want to quickly show the volume of the typo PR that we are receiving these days. So yeah, select all. So this is like a number of open PRs in EIP repo that we see as on today. It is 278, like definitely a huge number, way past 100, way past 200, close to 300. So I was trying to analyze this section and try to find out how many of them are like typo PR. You see about 100 are just typo PRs. And in these typo PRs, we see different 2 or 3 different kind of PRs. One is with respect to stagnant and withdrawn proposal, and one is with respect to final proposal, and the other one is like active proposal. I can understand the value add of active proposal because we are having this proposal in active consideration, so it makes sense to address anything that comes in before. For final proposal, we sometimes discuss it in this EIPIP meeting, try to make a consensus among editors like whether or not to approve that typo and edit the file, because we say that after moving into final, we don't want to edit it. And it has also been established in earlier meetings that stagnant and withdrawn uh, EIPs PR on their end to just fix typo does not add value, especially when we compare it with respect to the time that an editor has to put in to review these proposals and the volume of these proposals getting in. So I'm wondering if we can do one of these two things or maybe both of these things. Maybe have a check for bot to review these PR, like incoming PR, which is with header typo PR. And if it is stagnant and withdrawn, then just close the PR with a message suggesting that we do not accept typo PR for stagnant and withdrawn proposal unless there is an intention to reopen or revive this proposal. And also it would be helpful to add up appropriate link to message where the author may also know that there is a policy about this, that they are not accepting it. Maybe we can have this documented in EIP 1 or 5069, as I mentioned earlier. What are your thoughts?
So I think like I disagree a little bit on there's no value in updating stagnant and withdrawn proposals with typos. I think typos anywhere on the EIP's website kind of hurts our credibility. Like it doesn't matter if you're reading like a stagnant proposal or a withdrawn proposal, the fact that they're incorrectly and poorly written reflects poorly on the EIP process. So personally, I think we should still merge them. Yeah, I think honestly, this is just me not going through and cleaning up typo PRs. So I can certainly spend a few minutes today cleaning those up. And getting a spell checker back working again would probably help a lot too. And that is something that we should do at some point.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on that.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I understand that from different perspective, the value of like in allowing these kind of PRs may be higher or lower. Like there is a trade-off, of course. It's increasing the number, and personally, I think that having it clean is a good idea, but just having these kind of PRs may increase editors' workload. So perhaps we can have some check. But these PRs, is there a way that we can perhaps automate these kind of PRs? And that brings me to the next point of discussion here, policy on edits to final EIP. So we can apply the similar policy for Stagnant and Withdrawn as well, because most likely the editor would not be around. However, author would not be around. However, editor can merge them because that has not reached to the final status yet. But for the type of PRs which are coming for final EIPs, and say EIP editor allow that PR to be merged, but it is sitting there forever because we are not getting attention from author, and the policy is that without author's approval, final PR cannot be updated. I remember back in the days when we used to have this EIP apprenticeship handbook, we had this thing documented that if a pull request is approved by at least one EIP editor and has been sitting for months with a trivial grammar or spelling or whatever typo thing is there, at any point, any of the EIP editor may override editorial edits and merge that EIP. EIP bot can also do that, but this thing has not been in the practice. And while collating all the PRs for review for office hour, I have found many EIPs where the comment by editor is, I am fine merging this, but you have to get approval from author. So again, those kind of PRs are sitting there and increasing the volume, definitely not giving us a good impression, especially around having 4 editors and we have this kind of volume of PRs. Even if editors pays attention, it will still sit there. So can we have a consensus around like, okay, let's document this thing so any editor who sees it next time may be able to merge it directly, like force merge or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good policy to have.
Yeah. And what do you think about documentation of such thing where we can document? Definitely we can work on wordings that should go in. Do you think we can perhaps make use of this section, like deciding section mentioned in EIP 5069, because this is a living proposal, so we can perhaps edit it. So there is something making decisions, right? So we can make a section called others or like edge cases, and we can list it there rather than listing it to EIP1. I'm not sure which is the best place to document this, but it would be a good idea to have one.
Yeah, maybe a contributing.md, because GitHub will display that in pull requests, so we could document there what will actually merge and what we won't merge and stuff like that. I mean, or we can put it in the EIP. I mean, both work.
Yeah, contributing.md also sounds good as long as it could be referred through any of the EIPs, because it's a good idea to cite it directly to make it official.
Oh, like link to it from,
Yes.
yeah, we could link to it from EIP1. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe we can think a little bit more about, I think there is an agreement on this part. So allowing editors to merge, because this was like very simple thing and we can perhaps do that. We can come up with a PR to have this thing documented in contributing.md and maybe add it to EIP1. But for this part, we can perhaps reiterate, come up with good wordings and see what are the acceptable type of policies. Anyone on the call? I see Pierre Sky on the call, Mercy on the call. Anyone else have any thoughts and opinion on these things they think can go and cannot go? Yeah, anything you would like to share? If not, maybe we can come back again when we have a PR to make it more official. All right, let's move on. Yeah, the next agenda item is any other process change recommendation that is coming from community feedback, if any. So another option for people to chime in if they have anything, because I I'm not sure if we received anything formally on Discord or anywhere else.
I haven't seen anything that I'm aware of.
Very well, then we can perhaps move forward, and we should try to share this information more often with community, that we are open to all kind of ideas and suggestions if you have any. By the way, I would like to take this opportunity to also announce that ECH is organizing EIP Summit at Dev Connect, and that's going to be a half-day event. In that event, we are going to talk about the process proposals, the EIP proposals, and how protocol teams are interacting with that. So if you are around, please join us on 21st of September, starting at 9 a.m. And you could find it and find more information on Dev Connect calendar. We are at it there. Sticking to the same point, Sam, I also noticed that in the week of Dev Connect, we do have an EIP editing office hour scheduled. I wonder, would it be a good idea to have live session directly on 21st instead of having it on 18th? I guess 18th is Tuesday, yeah. Instead of having it on 18th, we have it on 21st and have you there as well, live connected with us.
21st of November, you said?
That's correct.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, then we would work towards that. We would invite authors in person. They can ask questions from there, and you would be around to respond to that. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, moving on. I believe Sam already mentioned that he could not find anything else. Okay, yeah, else to share here in this section. So let's move on to the PRs for address review and consensus. Okay, this PR has been open for a while, and I believe we have not received any support for this PR. Sam also does not think it is important, and Gajendra thinks that there are alternate ways to get it done. My question here is like, do we want to keep this open, or do we want
Yeah,
to?
we can close it.
Yeah, we can close it. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I think if other people haven't commented on it yet.
All right. Every PR closed, either merged. I'm very happy about it. Bit by bit helps. All right. So there are a bunch of force merge open PRs. If we don't want to go right now, it's fine. We can go ahead and get it done later. But here is another example, as I was mentioning. Here Gajendra mentions that looks fine to me, but the end call belongs to EIP author. And here the EIP author is Vitalik Buterin. So I'm not sure he will be coming to this PR to respond to this individual, whether he wants to allow this this things this
Yeah, this is why we have the stale bot, right? It should be closing these every so often.
yeah,
it
but
looks like
that
it
does
hasn't
after
been.
6 months, and I believe this was
Okay.
just a month ago, a couple
Yeah,
of
I mean it's
months
not
ago.
going to get looked
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like since this has been open for over 2 months, any editor can close it if they find it okay, right? We don't have to wait for
No, we can
6
close
months.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So let's add that as a policy. So even Gajendra can go ahead and get it closed, get it merged by himself without violating any editorial policies around that. I think we have a couple of more PRs to be addressed. I think this is about, again, okay. Oh, it simply requires one reviewer from editors, and may you want to take a look either now or later.
513. Yep, I can do that.
Awesome. Let's move on to the next one, which is CIO. Oh, you have closed it. Perfect. So I guess it was from your end only. Cool. We do have a bunch of other typo related PRs. We may not be going into each one of them. Maybe editors can take a look and leave their comment. And based on that, Sam, you can either close them or we can perhaps merge it after keeping it open for a month or so. I guess this was another example of like, when author is not around, and I think, yeah. So he again mentions it looks good to me, but you have to reach out to author. So we have definitely a lot more example of these kind of PRs which are unnecessarily taking up the numbers count here. All right. Moving on to the next section. This is PR Analytics and Editors Update. We already have heard from Sam, and we can maybe look on to the next one. There is a schedule which is now live for all editors to add their like availability, so we can host this editing office hour every Tuesday at 1600 UTC. We do have a agenda updated. I believe we do have editors already signed up for next couple of weeks. We will request editors to maybe take a look and add their availability for upcoming weeks. Next is EIPS Insight, and I would rather like to pass it on to EIPS Insight team to showcase or provide the input, whatever they want to talk about here. Yeah.
Yeah, just a minute. Okay, Yeah, am I audible by the way? Hello everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for letting
okay.
thank you for letting me demo today. I'll walk you through what the EIPS Insight team have been have been developing for past few weeks. So let me share my screen.
We aren't able to see your screen yet.
Oh yeah, just a minute. Okay. Share my screen. Can you see my screen now? Is it visible?
It's just black for me.
Yeah, it's upcoming. It's black for me as well.
Yep, just can I say it now? Is it visible?
Yes, we can.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, just yeah. So moving on to the first thing we have. So we have built this live count. This full Fusaka started with the Fusaka network update countdown. This gives a live view of next Ethereum's next major upgrade, which is expected, Fusaka, and it gives all the live countdown of the blocks and epochs. For example, Sepole is already done, and Hoodie, which is upcoming upgrade in the testnet, uh, it'll give the epochs and the slots which are left to be done. So, and since the mainnet date hasn't been announced, so yeah, this is what our first tool is. It's a simple but useful tool for anyone following the network closely, and it ensures everyone is aligned on upgrade timelines. So this is what we have. Uh, and the next one is EIP board. So uh, next we're planning to expand the EIP boards page. The goal is to provide richer proposal tracking, status overviews for all EIPs, contributor mapping to see who is actively participating. This will also make the governance progress more transparent. So I guess this is the most important tool which is used by all the editors. So I guess this will help the editors more if we expand the EIP boards. Uh, does anyone have any comments to this?
I have a quick question. Like, what is that we are going to add here? Like, it already provides the list, although I see the list is a little shorter. It's not at
Short. We are
107.
just expanding the list of open, like all the EIPs which is provided here. I guess the list is very short because it only provides 26 for now. And but we are planning to expand it so that we have more broader overview of all the EIPs.
Right. And I see a comment by Sam here in the chat, and I think it make a lot of sense. If we can perhaps add PR title as well, like we do have PR number and date, but there is no title. So unless we click it, we don't know what this PR is all about. So if we can get that, that would be nice addition.
Yeah, we'd love to have that also.
Okay.
We'll look into it. So, okay. We are, another upcoming feature which we have planned is contributors analytics page. So here, I mean, we're still working on it, but here we'll visualize activity like commits, PRs, and contributions across all the three repositories, and how many additions, how many deletions, something like that. But we're open to any suggestions which you all want to give us, for which like it will help the editors and all the audience, so to get a nice view of contribute. If we have anything, we are open to ideas for this feature.
I mean, I would love to see a leaderboard if we can have there.
Yeah, definitely. We are working on that only. So we will have a contributors leaderboard uh, for weekly, monthly, yearly, and overall. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now. And at last, we do have this. Just a minute, I'll just take a look. Uh, yeah, just a minute. Transaction. So we have also built this transaction tracker. Uh, I mean, the work is left, but we also plan to it will allow us to monitor and analyze on-chain transactions and what type of transactions are they. For example, type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. It will show an extensive view of all the blocks, which, for example, the latest block was this. And okay, what was the base fee trend, what is the priority fee, how much gas is used, and how much gas is burned for last few transactions which has been done. So this we've been also working on this. Yeah, that's all we have for now.
A quick question. I noticed in the last call there was some feedback from Sam. I think something was not working. Um, has it been fixed?
I think the whole website wasn't working for me.
That I think I'm aware of it. It was down for a few minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Naresh, if you may have update on that, that is it working? Not this
Uh,
whole website thing, but I think there was some specific mention. I followed the video later.
uh, can
Never mind. I will go back and revisit the video and try to follow up on that input.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. Would you want to maybe quickly share the insight for this month, or maybe EIP's insight for the month of October? We
Yeah.
can perhaps cover that.
Yeah. Sure, definitely. Just a minute, I'll share it. Sure, yeah. Side for this.
I think it is loading at my end. Maybe it is a bandwidth issue.
Yeah, I mean, I guess probably open the test. Just a minute. Okay. Uh, I opened the test net. Yeah. Yeah, we have the site for October 125, one ERC draft 6 in the review. Is my screen visible?
It is, and I guess the error was right here. I guess last meeting when Sam was trying to showcase it, it was not visible for the latest month, or something was breaking there. We were not able to reach 2025-10, but now I can see it on the website, so it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Thank you so much for this one.
Yeah.
And thanks for the updates as well. All right, we can perhaps move forward with the next agenda item, which is community update. We are joined by Pierre Sky today, and Pierre Sky is looking forward to have some feedback from editors, and he has some questions. Pierre Sky, I'm happy to pass it on to you if you would like to maybe share your screen and talk about this topic.
Yeah, thanks, Pooja. Appreciate giving me a mic here. So some of the editors might see me around the GitHub lurking around and doing some pull requests, and sometimes getting into the arguments whether something should be merged or not, which partly is because I'm interested in the protocol. I'm doing protocol research and I'm really building those ERCs, but on some other part, I'm also just exploring how the process is working, and we're working on something that probably is similar to what the EIP insights look like at first glance, but with different approach. So we want to, help EIP editors and Ethereum community to collaborate better, but do that from the more like product perspective and invite more different ecosystems inside. So it's kind of like a big lift for me. So we're a very small team, and we've built a prototype which we are showing to some stakeholders in Ethereum Foundation and trying to understand whether we can get a support. Part of that involves EIP editing, which we think could be like one of the lean, initial features. So basically, we want to propose completely abstracting EIP editors, which are rather not editors but authors, from needing to know how to use GitHub at all. So we can build, and we've already prototyped the app, where we can basically go to our. I'll share my screen in a second. Where we can go to our portal. So I'm just sharing the whole screen. If you see something impolite here, I hope you don't see anything wrong. Just close your eyes if you see something not relevant, please. So this is our portal, DIP.box, which stands for Decentralization Improvement Proposals, or also the way I frame it alternatively is Decentralized Intellectual Property, which EIPs are. And basically we are building, also we have some statistics, some analytics now. It takes a bit of time to load just because we are in the development database and the project is pretty much underfunded. So I just do this from my personal, experience and perspective. So we have some statistics around, what are the flow, what are the metrics on the protocols, something similar, but I guess the difference where we are going is that this is a multi-tenant environment. So you can see that this is ethereum.dip, so that's a subdomain, and we can invite multiple ecosystems, potentially invite Polygon, Optimism, or even some DAOs with time to join same great process of RFCs. And what we're basically doing here right now is we're basically having a GitHub integration where you have a form validation, so you don't need to pass form validation. I'm not sure what it's like. I have to clean my tokens, right? Just let's see if it will work out. This is a GitHub authentication happening. So while it happens here, so basically, yeah, so there's like a form validation we build as a prototype, which also allows, to link EIPs. Say if I'm, authoring an EIP, I can just refer here some specific ones. We can have, more better, like we're working on improving this Markdown editor here as well. We have like tables built in and more features. And then eventually you can submit a PR. Now this one particularly requires some PR title, let's say demo IP, and then I can submit PR. There's something else. Let's say this one needed some description as well. And yeah, so like I'm sorry for the being very prototypish here. So we're still form validation. Can they go to broken somewhere? But it's not super functional right now. One of the reasons is that we need Ethereum to actually install our app if we wanted to have it in production. So this is just a demo. But what happens is basically now here we have our fork for EIPs repository. Boom, we created an pull request where we requested some changes. And that didn't require an author to know how to fork GitHub. How to do forks doesn't require anything but having an account on GitHub, and our roadmap is actually to hopefully release the need to actually have the GitHub accounts at all, whether also have better ability to understand the author statistics, metrics, and build, this like cohesive, all-inclusive workspace environment. So I'm just here, taking notes. I actually took some bunch of the notes during the call that, kind of features requested. So I also was a little bit concerned that we are not really like doing something same which EIP Insights does. So yeah, I'm just really excited and curious if I can have some feedback, some feature requests. If we can work on this project, what would be the features that EIP editors would really support us doing? Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing this demo, PSky. I think I loved a few sections in your demo. By the way, for people who may not have watched this earlier, PSky joined us on ecosystem project demo, and we have an hour-long video recorded on the demo of DIP.box and many other features that the team is planning to bring up in future. So please check out the link I have shared here in the chat. So I love that in your EIP, it was color coded, the EIP which are there in required to section, like proposals which are already in final status, it says final and it is in green, and the proposals which are in review status and it is being kept as in required section, it is in yellow. That gives a very good clarity to people to know that if they want to move their status beyond review, they might either want to reconsider having a review proposal in required section or might want to first push the other proposal up to a higher status, so this can also be moved forward. This is something we should do it in eips.ethereum.org as well. Yeah, that's a very cool idea. We are gonna get it from you, and I think I loved the EIP creating document or the PR creation document, very similar to what we have noticed in EIPs Insight, but I think the one that you demoed definitely would be helpful for people who aren't very familiar with EIP the GitHub process in general, but they want to contribute. People who are not very technical, but they just want to contribute with simple edits or simple suggestions. I believe Sam also has a bunch of suggestions or ideas? Yes, Sam, if you would like to maybe share it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure. I just had a few small comments. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's a great idea to make the EIP editing process more accessible, and I think that's an admirable goal. I think it's going to be a little bit hard to get Ethereum to install the app, but not impossible. So that's about it.
Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate that. Just for the context, so we are talking to Nixo from, I think, is it ESP group, ecosystem support, basically for some possibilities when there are any grants openings happen for us to really focus on that project, because right now we don't have really resource to work on it. And one of her strong feedbacks was that that would be possible only if we have really strong consensus around the EIP editors, that would be a clear, improvement over the current processes. Therefore, I'm here really curious to get all of the feedback, what we would need to, propose there. So today I just noticed in my notes, basically there was like, typo fixers, spell auto checker, policies on finalizing EIPs, dark light theme, auto closing requests. Actually, like here is one of the thing I would be able sometime maybe later to show the wireframes we have, but we actually think that all of this kind of like pull requests, when they are created as well, we can actually display them inside of the EIPs just as one of the tabs of what happens in that EIP, and also we can actually send some kind of notifications to the authors or champions that you have some backlog of things to do there. Then availability calendar for office hours and bookings. Yeah, these are just like some features I noted here, and if you have any more, I'm out here listening, or you can always reach me out at Telegram. I'll add my Telegram here as well.
I think the last time something like this came up, the big feature request that I usually have is integrate EIPW into the editor. It's a Rust project. It can compile into JavaScript or into WASM rather. It would be nice to be able to get live feedback on the proposals. But that's kind of
sorry, can you link me the software particular speaking about? I'm kind of like I didn't get the point right now. I heard like Rust.
It's our tool for linting EIPs.
EIP Warrior, right?
That's a good name for it.
Validator or Warrior, but like there is one GitHub action automation which just made me nuts, and actually that was something that made me think that maybe I should work on this kind of like workspace, and I think it starts with W. That's why I thought.
Yeah, so this can be compiled and run in the browser, so it might be useful to have it provide live feedback to people who are writing.
Oh, right. So this is like automated, basically like form validation on steroids that we could integrate.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, definitely not that done.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for demoing everything. I'm happy to see projects like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all. Yes, we would love to see more projects, more tooling coming around. That is definitely going to be a strong support system for all editors, given that we have a huge volume of open PRs and limited editing hours. Very well. I think that also brings us to the end of the agenda. My next item is just to figure out when is the next meeting. in my initial proposal, it was like we keep it generally on the third Wednesday of the month, but next month, the third Wednesday is falling on Dev Connect week. So would we consider it moving a week earlier or later, maybe 12th or 26th? Any thoughts on that? And earlier would be
either day is-
better. I just realized 26th will be Thanksgiving week, so I'm not sure. So yeah.
I mean, either is fine with me. I'm Canadian, so I just had my Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you have it earlier or later? I mean, like, what is there?
Earlier.
Earlier,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Cool. So let's keep it on 12th. I will make the agenda accordingly and let editors know about it so they know the change of week and we can have more people on call. That's pretty much it for today's meeting. Does anyone have anything else to bring up here today or suggest something for the next meeting? All right, in that case, we can have our 8 minutes back. Thank you everyone for joining us here today. See you in the next call on November 12th. Have a great rest of the
Thank
day.
you for your great
See you.
work.